Chapter 1. Welcome to Haven Ridge. The sounds of clanging cell doors and distant shouts create a haunting symphony as the narrator's voice breaks through the cacophony, introducing the imposing structure of Haven Ridge. Nestled between jagged cliffs, this maximum security prison is known not only for its stringent security measures, but also for its progressive rehabilitation programs aimed at fostering change within its inmates. Inside these walls, a world of despair and hope coexists, a place where lives can be rewritten, futures reimagined. As the camera pans through the stark hallways, we meet the key players: Marcus, Rita, Frank, and Tara. Each has a story etched into the fabric of this prison. Each carries dreams intertwined with shadows of their past. With each entry recorded in this narrative diary, listeners are invited to bear witness to the struggles and triumphs of those grappling with their humanity while seeking redemption behind bars. Chapter 2. Marcus's Arrival. As the heavy metal door clanged shut behind him, Marcus was enveloped by a chill that cut deeper than the cold walls of Haven Ridge. The cacophony of distant shouts and the scuffle of boots on concrete echoed in his ears, amplifying the rapid thrum of his heartbeat. Alone in a sea of unfamiliar faces, fear clawed at his insides, tightening its grip. He recalled the warmth of home, the laughter of friends, memories now tainted by the shadow of a moment's passion that had led him here. His first night was restless. Shadows danced menacingly in his cell, twisting into reminders of what he had lost. Lying on the thin, uncomfortable mattress, he contemplated his choices with an ache of regret. In the solitude of those prison walls, Marcus struck a deal with himself: to confront his demons, to seek redemption, and to reclaim a sense of hope, no matter how distant it seemed in this stark new reality. Chapter 3. The Weight of Choices. In the dim light of his cell, Marcus finds himself wrestling with the haunting echoes of his past. As he sits on the edge of his narrow bed, shadows stretch across the concrete walls, reminiscent of the choices that led him here. Memories surge, revealing the fervent love that turned to passion and anger, a tragic cocktail that erupted into violence. He recalls the late-night arguments, heated and raw, culminating in a moment he can never take back. The burdens of regret settle heavily on his chest, each breath a reminder of the life he shattered. Within the confines of Haven Ridge, Marcus confronts the harsh reality of personal accountability. He reflects on the ripple effects of his actions, not just on himself, but on the ones he loved and lost. In this moment of solitude, the weight of his choices becomes a catalyst for introspection, igniting a flicker of hope for redemption amid the darkness that surrounds him. Chapter 4. Rita's Canvas. In the dim light of her cell, on the stark concrete walls, Rita finds refuge through her art, a transformative escape from the shadows of her past. As she dips her brush into vibrant colors, she immerses herself in the creative process, pouring her emotions onto the canvas. "Art is my voice," she confesses, revealing how each stroke symbolizes resilience and rebirth. Rita reflects on her days as a gang member, feeling the weight of choices that led her here, but through each painting, she finds hope and healing. Her creations don't go unnoticed. Fellow inmates gather, sharing their own dreams and stories sparked by her work. "It's more than just paint," she says. "It's a connection." In this fragile space, Rita becomes a mentor, leading impromptu art classes, fostering a sense of community. Walls built to isolate instead become a gallery of strength, unearthing the hidden beauty that lies within their shared struggles. Chapter 5. Brotherhood Behind Bars. As the sun rises, casting a muted glow through the barred windows of Haven Ridge, Frank steps into the common area, greeted by a mix of nods and murmurs. At 72 years old, he carries the weight of decades within these walls, but exudes a calm energy that draws younger inmates towards him. "Listen up," he often says. "Wisdom can come from the toughest times." Today, he gathers a group of eager faces, sharing tales of hope amid despair. Frank recounts the story of Jalen, a troubled youth who once roamed the yard with a hardened heart. Through their conversations and shared experiences, Jalen discovered his knack for poetry, a way to express the turmoil locking him inside. "It's never too late to find your voice," Frank reminds them, embodying the spirit of mentorship, nurturing bonds that transform barriers into bridges. Here, within the harsh reality of prison life, brotherhood flourishes, proving that even behind bars, men can still uplift each other toward redemption. Chapter 6. the fight for change. Tara sits in her small, cluttered office, surrounded by stacks of paperwork and endless case files. The harsh fluorescent lights flicker above her, mimicking the uncertainty she battles daily as a social worker at Haven Ridge. Change is a slow process, she muses, recalling the countless challenges she has faced while trying to implement vital rehabilitation programs. Every day she pushes against bureaucratic red tape, often feeling like she's fighting a shadow. Yet, amidst the frustration, there are glimmers of hope, conversations with eager young inmates yearning for a second chance. Tara shares poignant stories of their resilience, of dreams that stretch beyond the prison walls, and the partnerships she's formed with empathetic staff members. She reflects on her initial motivations, reminding herself why she chose this path. As she prepares for another challenging day, Tara knows that every small victory brings them one step closer to lasting change. Chapter 7: Echoes of Fear. The cold steel walls of Haven Ridge felt like a cage that magnified Marcus's fears. Each day was a repetitive cycle, yet every night amplified his anxieties. In the flickering light of his cell, he lay awake, memories haunting him like shadows. He thought of his impulsive decision that led him to this desolate place. Love turned to loss, fire turned to ashes. During group therapy, as he listened to others share their struggles, he recognized the common thread of fear binding them together. Some feared the outside world that awaited them, while others dreaded the inevitability of their sentences. "What if I'm never free?" he whispered to himself, the weight of uncertainty heavy on his heart. But amid the darkness, a spark flickered. Perhaps facing these fears was the first step towards his redemption. As the clock ticked steadily, he resolved to explore the depths of his own courage, even in this oppressive environment. Chapter 8: A Brush with the Past. In the quiet confines of Haven Ridge, Rita sits across from her therapist, the weight of memories pressing heavily on her shoulders. The muted colors of her paintbrush dance on the canvas, yet her mind drifts to the shadows of her past: lost friends, gang affiliations, and a life stained with violence. "Why did I ever think this was my only path?" she muses, her voice trembling. As the therapist guides her through a focus on forgiveness, Rita's heart aches with the realization that to move forward, she must confront her demons. With tears streaming down her face, Rita shares stories of betrayal and loyalty, memories that flicker like haunting specters. Yet, among the sorrow, there lies a flicker of hope, a desire to teach younger generations that their past does not define them. Each brushstroke becomes a testament to transformation, a visual prayer for redemption. For herself, for her friends still trapped in darkness. Chapter 9: Lessons in Resilience. Frank settled into his worn chair in the rec room, surrounded by a group of younger inmates eager to hear his stories. "Every one of you can rewrite your narrative," he began, eyes scanning their faces. He recounted the tale of a former inmate named Leo, a once tangled soul who had emerged from their darkness, a beacon of resilience. Leo had arrived at Haven Ridge broken and angry, but through mentorship and art therapy, he had turned his pain into powerful murals that spoke of hope and redemption. The young inmates listened intently as Frank shared Leo's transformation, highlighting the importance of choices, however small. "It's the little decisions day by day," he said, his voice steady, that can lead to groundbreaking change. He emphasized that resilience isn't merely surviving but thriving, even within the confines of these walls. The room filled with a renewed sense of purpose, each inmate reflecting on their own potential to overcome adversity. Chapter 10: Fractures in Freedom. Tara sat at her desk, surrounded by stacks of paperwork that seemed to multiply by the hour. The bureaucratic red tape of Haven Ridge felt suffocating as she navigated the labyrinth of policies impeding the vital rehabilitation programs. Each rejection of her proposals stung, yet she found solace in one undeniable truth: the inmates deserved a second chance. Every day, she witnessed the spark of hope in their eyes, a stark contrast to the hardened facades they wore. One particular conversation with Marcus resonated deeply. He expressed his desire to create a support group, a sanctuary where inmates could share their burdens. Despite feeling overwhelmed, Tara felt renewed purpose surge through her. In that moment, she realized that true freedom begins within. The inmates were not just their past mistakes. They were potential waiting to be ignited. Fueled by determination, Tara vowed to fight for their voices, championing their right to reshape their destinies. Chapter 11. Confronting Demons. In the dimly lit therapy room, Marcus sat in a circle with fellow inmates, each sharing their struggles and the weight of their past choices. The air was thick with unspoken fears as the session began. Marcus felt his heart race. This was his moment to confront the demons that haunted him. As he spoke about the night of his crime, tears welled in his eyes. "I never meant to hurt anyone," he confessed, his voice trembling. Fellow inmates nodded in understanding, offering words of encouragement and empathy. A sense of solidarity enveloped the room as stories of regret intertwined, revealing shared pain and vulnerability. As the session progressed, Marcus realized that self-forgiveness, though challenging, was essential for his journey. It was in this safe space that he felt the glimmers of hope and strength emerging amidst the darkness, a powerful reminder that redemption often starts from within. Chapter 12. The Art Showcase. As the day of the art showcase approached, anticipation buzzed through the air of Haven Ridge. Inmates gathered in the common area, transforming it with vibrant canvases and sculptures that reflected their inner worlds. Rita, her heart racing, meticulously arranged her pieces, a swirling tapestry of her pain and hope. Each brushstroke told a story, unveiling layers of resilience forged through hardship. The atmosphere, tinged with nervous excitement, mingled with camaraderie as artists supported each other. Men and women, once isolated by their pasts, now stood united, ready to share their creations with the world outside prison walls. Friends and staff prepared for the event, while Tara, the social worker, felt a surge of pride witnessing this moment of vulnerability and strength. As the evening sun filtered through barred windows, the showcase became more than an exhibition. It was a celebration of redemption, a testament to the power of expression, and a reminder that beauty could emerge from despair. Chapter 13. The Night of Revelation. Amidst the palpable tension of anticipation, the art showcase at Haven Ridge unfolded like a tapestry of hope and expression. The dimly lit room buzzed with excitement as inmates gathered to share their creations, each piece a fragment of their souls laid bare. Rita stood nervously in front of her artwork, a sprawling mural that intertwined her pain and aspirations. As she spoke, her voice trembled but grew stronger, reaching out to connect with the audience, both fellow inmates and staff members who had come to witness this catharsis. Marcus felt a wave of emotion wash over him as he listened to the stories behind each artwork. The raw vulnerability and courage exhibited that night ignited a spark of self-acceptance within him. In this sanctuary of creativity, barriers dissolved, and a collective spirit emerged, reminding everyone that redemption often dwells in the echoes of shared experiences. The night culminated in heartfelt applause, truly illuminating the path toward healing and transformation.